I remember the night at Coventry and in Eton especially, when they were bombed. And as the house we lived in was a 3-storey one. Well, the houses opposite were 2 stories, so you could see quite a way. And no, Dad went up to the top floor the night it was Coventry, and I remember him coming down and saying, "Oh, Coventry's having it tonight." He said that sky is absolutely alight. And although they were far away, you could really hear them, and we were really scared. But something that's always struck me, when everyone went down to the shelters, they all went down in their old clothes. I mean, in those days you didn't have many clothes. You had your best clothes and your school and other clothes. But no one ever put the best clothes on. Well, if the houses had been hit, which often, in lots of places there were, you'd just been left with your old clothes. I often thought, well, why didn't people wear the decent clothes? At least you'd have your decent clothes, your better clothes. But they didn't. And nights we'd go up and down there. But then you just went to school the same the next day. But I don't remember feeling tired, but we must have been. That was like all during the Blitz.
I can remember my dad waking us up one night when they were bombing Nuneaton and Coventry, and we could see the planes, Spitfires and whatnot, and the German planes having a dogfight. Yeah, it was.
And you could always used to listen to whether it was one of ours. You could tell by the tone, couldn't you? Whether it was the weight of the others if they got bombs. But you could always tell whether it was one of our planes.
Yeah.
And, oh, that's all right, that's one of ours. Or, oh, that's not that one.
Always waited for the all clear to go, didn't we?
At 2 o'clock in the morning, we heard this knocking, banging on the door. And it was my uncle. He got his wife and 3 children in the back of a car, and with a few remnants of what they'd got out of the house, which was virtually destroyed. So we had to put them up. It meant me sleeping on a billiard table upside down on a little bagatelle table. We'd only got 2 bedrooms. Oh, Mum and Dad's bedroom, and then Joan, my sister, had to move out so that the uncle and family could have their room. So Joan moved in the same room as me.
And you slept on the bagatelle?
I slept under mine, not with the prickles, under
the other way out.
Upside down. You wouldn't want the spikes, the nails in you, would you?
They just put a bit of a dider down for a mattress. And
so how long did they have to stay with you?
Quite a while. In fact, they were bombed out twice. And the second time, they did manage to get a little cottage in Long Street. It's one with 2 next yard.
This gentleman had lost his wife and he'd got 3 children, I think it was 3 or 4, and he said, well, I think there's a place up in the Midlands where they're suggesting we can all go. So, cut the story short, we all came to Atherstone. I remember it on the train. Atherstone station was vastly different then. This was in 1941, I should imagine. And of course the problem was then housing us. But we started off with a property in Bachelor's Bench. Yeah. But we couldn't stay there long, and we all sort of split up, and Mum and I got this house in Allen's Road.
I says, what's up, Dad? What's up, Dad? He says, that's it. He says, I'm gone. I says, what? He says, I've got to go to war. I says, go to war? What do you mean go to war? He says, there's a war on. He said, I've got to go. Out the door I go, shoots out the door. Of course it was warmish weather, September you see. shoots out the door. My mother was up the toilet. Out our door, up the yard, round the corner, banging on the door. Mam, 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 mam. What's up, what's up, what's up? I said, my dad's going. I said, he's going to war, going to war. My mother starts screaming at me, you know, trying to make sense of me. So out the door she comes,
Still pulling.
getting the clothes down, running down the yard. She started crying, running,
Oh no.
goes down the yard 100 miles an hour, you know. We piles into the house. What's up, what's up? He says, we just, of course, he spoke to my mother different to me, like he says, I've got to go, Lizzie. He says, we declared, Chamberlain's just declared war, he says, and he was on the reserve, you see. He got warrants and everything, because he'd only just come out, and he got everything ready, and within a week he was in, and very, very shortly, it wasn't long after war was declared, he was in France, in the British Expeditionary Force, straight over, because they were trained and everything,
already a soldier, yeah.
and he went with the regulars who were still in, they were put with them, and they went straight out. Straight out there.
Can you remember the Land Army Hostel that used to be opposite where we live?
You live?
Yeah, it used to house the land girls that worked on the farms. And we were dead opposite there. And one night, Dad woke us up. He says, go and have a look. And we looked out the window, and the Land Army Hostel was on fire. And all the girls were running around in nighties and what have you. And the place was, well, burnt to the ground. It was made of wood. The only brick part of it was the boiler house.